Hello, 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 hello. It's Father Aaron, the Dungeon Minister. The Dungeon Minister. Le Minister au Donjon. The Dungeon Minister. Yeah, is Minister. Is Minister of Dungeon. This is who is. Yes. And I am here on a live stream painting. Howdy, 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 Rabobski. How are you doing tonight? This is a mini painting live stream. You saw me get these horsies painted up. You did not see me get this one. I still haven't done the base. You did not see me get this one to this stage because I did it off screen. And so I'm going to be doing the same thing, trying to get this guy somewhere close to that guy. Done. Thank you for tuning in. No, paint-wise. Before we start, if you're looking for expert painting tips, how to really get into go somewhere else, because I'm really not that great of a painter. I'm really not, and I don't feel bad about this. Don't feel that you need to say, no, you're great. I'm not, and I don't feel bad about it. But I mean, the camera makes me look good. Okay, if the camera's going to make it look good. Well, that's the other thing. I don't have a really good camera, so you won't be able to tell the detail anyway. Hello, Grumpy Old Slan. I just listened to the bit about the ring with the stone that changed colors. That was very good. At any rate, if you are here for really high quality painting and really good camera work, go elsewhere. But if you are here because you think, boy, my painting stinks, and you want to see someone else whose painting also stinks and know that, you know what, it's okay, you can still just do your own painting and it'll be fine, I'm your Huckleberry. All right, I'm not going to do a whole lot else in way of introduction. I'm going to move the camera. I'm not doing Claricam today because my phone has 28% battery, so that's not going to last very long. And I didn't bring down the charger and everything, and there's people upstairs asleep. Thank you very much. Rob, there's people sleeping. I don't want to go disturbing people looking for a charger in the dark. So I'm just going to do this. So pardon me. There we are. There we are. And I'm going to try to see if this light can get a bit brighter for us. Well, it's going to get a lot brighter. I'm going to be able to operate in this and by this light. Yeah, that's pretty good. Take it down a notch or two. All right. So I hope everyone is doing well. I've been having an okay time. Yeah, having an okay time. We'll put it that way. I've been an okay time. But overall, not too bad. Now, so there's some bits on this horse where his ankles are still white. It kind of looks okay. I mean, it's a mistake. It's not intentional, but it kind of looks okay. Because some horses have that. They have those little white socks, So I'm going to leave it. I'm just going to say that this is the way this horse's hair grows, and I'm not going to correct it because I'm lazy. The other thing I'm finding out is that if I really, really, really get persnickety about this stuff, I will never get minis painted. I don't go up to the level of quality that I can achieve. I have to achieve slowly. So I'm going to have to do it slightly sloppier than I'd like to, simply because if I try to make it as, again, as good as I can, which is not too great, but still, if I try to make it as good as I can, I'll be here all year. The other thing I found when I was painting that is really, for the most part, I can just turn the cap over like that and use that much paint because these things are tiny. Okay. Speaking of tiny, I want to get a little tiny brush. Come back here. I see you down there with a nice point still on you. Very nice. So we took trees down at the church today. There's these trees known as Manitoba maples, and they are they are bred specifically to fall down on top of people. They're terrible. It's a weed tree. They grow like crazy. They grow like stink, which is why people put them in, because you can quickly fill up an area of your lawn with these things, right? The problem is twofold. One, as I say, they are prone to falling, just falling. The other problem is that they attract the box elder bug. And if you don't know what a box elder bug is, you're a lucky son of a gun. The box elder bug is horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible insect. It doesn't bite, doesn't sting, it doesn't eat your food. It just gets into your house and is disgusting. Now, it is smelly if you crush it. It has a sort of rank odor to it. So that's bad. But really, it's just that it gets in everywhere. They look for places to be warm. So they come out too early in the spring. They're already out. And you know how the spring is, where the day is warm and the night is cool? Well, they like the day is warm, but they do not like the night is cool. And so they look for a place to hide at night. And so they come into your house. And the church is full of dead ones. Because, of course, the church is an old building, early 1800s stone church. There's cracks and crevices everywhere. The doors don't meet the ground, right? It's really pretty open. So these things get in and, they make a mess of the place. Just by dying there, right? They get in and then they die. That's what they do. Now this horse, because it is a dark enough brown, where I just did the saddle blanket, and I don't know if you can tell, but the blanket there, it's still shiny. It's only a little darker. This is a cinnamon brown, and that is in burnt umber. I'm going to see if I can find this cinnamon brown. I do want to touch up a couple places. See, I'm already starting to obsess. The cinnamon brown, I like it because it's a warm brown. Here we go. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, these trees, I don't remember what I was saying. I'm sure it was not terribly important and didn't have anything to do with painting. These trees attract these box elder bugs. The worst tree for falling is poplar. Yes, poplars. That is true. They're a liar tree. Well, the same thing is true of the Manitoba maple. It also looks pretty healthy. No. Let me correct that. It never looks healthy, but it looks as healthy as it ever looks right up until it falls. In fact, today, taking that tree down, we got it notched. It looked like it was going to fall nicely placed between a couple of other things on the property, and it actually ended up smashing into one of them because as it fell, we discovered that the interior had rotted away, and so one half of the tree hung on longer than the other, and so it pivoted on its way down. There's just some mottling on this horse, which does not look like fur, which I'm correcting. Cinnamon buns, no, cinnamon brown. Actually this. So when I first started, the first things I started painting like this weren't minis. They were little peg people, because we have something at our church called Family Church. It's for families with little kids who might have trouble sitting through Sunday morning, because it's an hour long on the 45 minutes to an hour at the short end at the 8:30, which interestingly is where most of the young families come, both because it is shorter and also because when you got a little kid, I'm talking to families that have kids under 5, when you have a little kid, you're pretty much up anyway, because they get up at the crack of dawn. And yeah, well, it's a long story here. As Family Church, we have, I tell Bible stories using little peg people. It's good to have a visual interest thing, a thing to focus on. It's the same reason I use minis with playing with my family, with my kids. But I would paint those things, and cinnamon brown was always the color of Jesus' hair, and he was the only one who had that color hair. So this horse is a Jesus horse. No, he just happens to share the same color hair as that little figure that I painted up for the stories. So now tonight, last time I did this, I have cinnamon Pop-Tarts, and if Lawrence pops on tonight, I'm gonna cracks them out in his honor. Here we are. What was I going to say? I don't know what I was going to say. It doesn't matter. Oh, the dog. Last time I was on, I had to take the dog out, and I made a little sign that said taking the dog out for a pee. But I'm not going to need that tonight because the dog has been misbehaving today. So he's in his cage. He's in his cage. He's done for the night. I may break him out after we're done and take him on a walk. Take him on a walk. We like a night walk. I have to say he's good for a night walk. Last night we went very far, further than he's ever gone before. I took him all over the place. He was very tired. You know, I'm wondering, black straps. I'm thinking black straps because, again, yeah, well, you know what? Poor Magoo ought to stop trying to eat darts for Nerf darts. Okay. We thought we found all of them, but that dog knows the location of every Nerf dart in the house. And he goes after them with an intensity, just an intensity that you wouldn't believe. With Leonard, hey? With your dog with Leonard? I do like a night walk. I did that when COVID started up. I was taking night walks every night, and I was thinner than I'd been in years. With two reasons. One, the walking is exercise, and two, when I'm walking, I'm not sitting here eating. Because, you know, when you sit, and then you sit and craft or sit and edit videos or sit and watch videos. Gee, you know, your hands want to be busy with do something, so you grab some chips, right? But I walked all over, and I actually tried to recreate when I was a teenager. I had a friend, Adam Berger, and I can't believe he didn't get teased more in school than he did. His name was Berger, for heaven's sakes. But then my name's O'Rear, so what am I saying? But we would take these epic long walks at night and just talk about stuff. And we walked all over town. I called up Google Maps and plotted the course we used to walk. And good heavens. I mean, I think we did like 10 to 15 kilometers every night. Check the darts to see if they're cinnamon flavored. If they were, I'd be eating them. Slan. We would go 10 to 15 kilometers every night. We had a particular route we took. Now, I will say this much, you know, in terms of our health, one of the first stops we made was at the Dungeon Sinister. I like it. One of the first stops we made was at the Little Caesars, and we would buy crazy bread and eat it on the walk. So I don't know how much health benefit we had from the walk. This, you know, greasy, cheesy, crazy bread isn't going to do us that's not doing us any favors. But I mean, but that at that, when you're that age, your metabolism is so insane. Now I sit here and think about food and I gain weight. It's awful. You know what's what I'm telling you? It's awful. It's awful. Dungeon Sinister. I like that. That could be my evil alter ego. Like where I try to be, you know, kind of a happy-go-lucky guy, generally speaking, hiding the pain, Harold. I could have Dungeon Sinister. It could just be a real turd. And then you'd have to guess which one is actually the real Father Aaron. Might be the turd. Or the fourth. Dad jokes. Needs a good evil laugh. You're still thin at 60. I'm not thinking at 60 or thin. I'm at 52, and I'm neither thin nor thinking. There was a guy at the cathedral in Milwaukee. He's a fellow. He was in his 70s at the time. I imagine by now he's dead. That was 25 years ago. Maybe he's not. Actually, all things considered, maybe he's not, because he would bike to church, and it was uphill. I won't say both ways, but it was uphill to church, and he was a lean, mean biking machine. What was that fella's name? Man, it has been 25 years, and I mean, I knew him, but we weren't like close or anything. He was a real character. The Milwaukee Cathedral, everyone was a character because it's a real high Anglican church, right? So nosebleed high, and that tends to attract a certain kind of person, and the kind of person I mean is the kind of person that Lawrence O'Toole would have played, or Peter O'Toole, Lawrence of Arabia, I'm thinking. The kind of person that Peter O'Toole would play in a movie. Spell check hates you? Yeah, I know what you're saying there, dude. Autocorrect, terrible invention. Ruined the internet. Well, maybe not, but didn't make it any more fun. Country maple, sure. The rains are actually, I think, his. Did I make his main country maple? I think I did. I'm going to need more of it because it got a little schmutz. One of Kroger's bikes into work takes him an hour each way, and he's 64. Good heavens! If I biked anywhere, it would take me 3 hours, and I would be 64 by the time I arrived, I think. I mean, I'm in bad shape. Most of ever since leaving theater, my career, my lifestyle has been sedentary, and I got to tell you, every time the priest visits someone, they put out cookies and muffins and cake and that kind of stuff. So everywhere I go, and I don't have the self-control to say no thank you. Plus you can't, right? Betsy has baked these muffins because the priest is coming over. You can't say, oh no, I'm not eating them. Now, I probably could say just one rather than, sure, I'll have 6. That might be. But gluttony is my abiding cardinal sin. Cardinal sin is a good name for a cardinal. Speaking of the conclave, did anyone watch the smoke today? I had it on at work because although it's not, I'm Anglican, it's not our church, who the Pope is does affect things. When Benedict was Pope, a lot of liberal-minded Catholics left the church and joined us. And when Francis became the Pope, a lot of conservative-minded Catholics left the church and joined us. So we are able to, as St. Paul said, be all things to all people. I mean, our denomination has positions, etc., but I have worked hard to keep social fights, yes, it is cardinal virtues and deadly sins. I was hoping no one would notice I made that flub. I've worked hard to keep that kind of culture war crap out of the parish, because it's just never, like, there's no winning it, right? There's absolutely no winning it. There's no one ever says, oh, okay, you were right, I'll change my mind. That's not going to happen. What color did I make this horse? Because now I'm seeing one of these ankles that didn't really go down all the way, and now I don't know what color I painted. Was it an off-white? Folks, I'm dying here. It's probably a cream. Ow. Yeah, because someone said make a white horse, and I couldn't go all the way to a white horse. I went to a cream horse, and he got on top, and I didn't get, because I think by the time I got down here, I was starting to regret the choice. Because although there are white horses and they look fine, when I did it in miniature, it just didn't look right. I'm sure, again, better painter could do a wonderful job of a cream-colored horse. Me, not a great painter. I'm making the socks more pronounced because why not? That does actually look kind of good with the white socks. Go up this first. Nibbly knobbly bone. So, yeah, I was watching the smoke today. At work, I had it on. And it was funny because the live stream I tuned into, there was just all this talk about the seagulls and people proclaiming the seagulls are the new pope. You know, the seagulls, the new pope. That was fun. Oh, bless you, Hungar. Drive by before bed. I hope you're doing all right there, my friend. I used to be more onto your brother's live streams, and you show up on those a lot, but and even on yours too. But then the world unlocked after the pandemic, and I've got to be at work, and it's always during work hours that he's on. But thank you very much, sir. I hope all's well in your world. I hope all's well. You crazy man. Glad to hear it, Hungar. Glad to hear it. Incidentally, I will be delayed in replying to comments because I'm staring at the Mini, obviously. But I'm really glad to hear that. Yes. No matter, it doesn't matter who they pick. Someone will be upset about it. So I'm looking forward to new converts when the new pope is announced. But I mean, it really, though, quite beyond. I mean, I'm being slightly facetious, although not really. There were people who came to us from both directions under both papacies. Probably more under Benedict because the Anglican Church is probably known for being more liberal, but within the Anglican Church, within our diocese, actually, our diocese is quite liberal. So within our diocese, I'm known as the conservative, which, if you went back 10 years, I wouldn't be that conservative, but just the world has changed, right? So I wasn't kidding. We did see influxes of people in the changes between popes, but quite beyond that, I'm going to make the hoofs black. Quite beyond that, it is important for the church, the biggest denomination, like 'em or lump 'em, the biggest denomination in the world. What they do. I mean, in Canada, I can speak to this. You sleep next to an elephant, and every twitch matters. So it is an important thing for the whole of the church. What's happening in Rome? Seagull Pope declares all beachside sandwiches and fries to be given to the very hungry seagulls. Yes. Yeah, there were funny things. And I was wondering if cardinals who are supposedly, prime candidates are called pepabile, would prime seagulls be gullabile? That wasn't a very funny joke when I wrote it, and it's not a very funny joke when I say it, but I like it. Between a mouse and an elephant? Yes. Or, well, I don't know about mouse, because there's the funny thing about in cartoons where the mouse scares the elephant, and I'm afraid, I have to admit, as someone who grew up there and remembers quite well, I don't know that the elephant gives much thought to the mouse. In fact, actually, all of Trump's talk about annexing Canada is probably more thought than the United States has put into Canada since the War of 1812. I don't say this to insult any Canadians. I'm just being honest. Just being honest. I think the relationship is probably like I mean, I get the whole mouse elephant thing. That is about right, or maybe it's more like a beaver and an elephant. But it's somewhat like that member of your family who you don't think ever ages. Of course they do, and then at some point you go, "Oh my gosh, Aunt Betty is so old now." You know, like I have aunts and uncles that, because I've moved to Canada, I haven't seen them in years, and in my head they're the same age as they were when. Yes, it is. It was the same as the sleeping next to the elephant one, as I recall. Was it Trudeau the first? But I have aunts and uncles I haven't seen in years, and in my head, they are exactly as they were last time I saw them. Now, I'm on Facebook, so I see their pictures, right? But although I will admit, in the past, what is it now? 8+ years, I have really kind of just muted a lot of my family members on Facebook, and it's not, I don't mean to hurt their feelings or anything, but good gosh, I don't need to hear the drama from either side. I don't need to hear the drama. I don't want to hear it. I miss the days when politicians disagreed, but then went out for a drink together afterward. You know, it's I suspect the politicians miss it too. Mythbusters, you showed elephants react to mice way more than you did. Really? Well, you know what, Rob? An elephant doesn't want a mouse in its truck either. I wouldn't want a mouse in my truck. I don't have a truck, but if I did, I wouldn't want a mouse in it. Chew the upholstery up. They'd get into the owner's manual and chew it up, and then where would you be? You wouldn't know how to change which screws you had to take out to change the brake lights. See what I'm doing? I'm fussing over these ankles and hooves, and I'm not making progress. Actually, I am making progress. That looks pretty good. You're not going to be able to really see it. It's all blurry for you, but that actually looks pretty good. So I'm in the theater. Hey, there you go. There you go. And then you go to the theater and it's Julius Caesar or some bloody thing. It's like, oh, come on. Let's see. That's his mane and tail. There was a shampoo called Mane and Tail, and I don't remember if it was actually for horses or if it was for people. Or I don't remember if it was for horses and my mother bought it thinking it was for people, or if it was actually for people. I don't know. Joke about how many elephants you get into a VW. I do not. Grumpy, tell me the joke of how many elephants can you get in a VW bug. I don't know how many elephants you can get. Stop going after these. 4, 2 in front. Four, 2 in front and 2 in the back seat. That may be sort of an esoteric Quebecois joke, because I don't get it. Unless it's just that there's 4 seats in the thing. So you did have, so it is Mane and Tail was for humans. Oh dear. Oh no. It's going to have something to do with the car, isn't it? I don't know. How can you tell there's an elephant in your house? This is going to be awful. Hello, Bo. Come on, don't keep me in suspense here, Grumpy. There's an elephant-shaped hole in the facade. Ba-ding dang. There's a joke that I'm not going to tell it because I'm giving away. See, that looks too close to the mane. Nope, I got to do something else there. What am I going to do for this? I guess black again. Boring, but you know what? Samesies. Unless I've got a lighter shade of brown, lighter shade of pale. I have golden brown. 2 2 elephant-shaped holes in the wall. Ugh. I'm like, I don't know my pajamas. I'll never know. That I do know. Hello, negative headspace. Oh, dear Grumpy. This is going somewhere. Okay. How do you know there's 3 elephants? There's 3 holes in the facade? Or by then you ought to know without looking at the facade? That's different enough. That's different enough from the hair. Yes, there's 3. You never can have too many shades of brown. You're right. And when you're talking about unfortunately, the dollar store in our town is very basic in there, and I mean like basic. How do I know? Because there's a VW bug in the living room. Is that it? Is this a VW bug shaped hole in the wall? Please tell me that's it. Because I've been hanging on to. I'm thinking it's one of those jokes that you tell over the course of a night, and then people get it at the end. Yeah, the dollar store, and it's 2 dollar stores in town. One is an independent. What they do have craft foam. I got it. It's VW. It's in your driveway. Har 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 har. They do have the independent one has the foam core, the ready. Is it ready made? No, ready board. Ready-made, ready board, and they have that, and that's just good because it peels off easy and you can use it for crafts. So I go there for that, and then I always look at their paint section. And once they had a really good selection of paints, and I didn't buy any, and I thought, oh well, great, this is they've expanded their paint section. I can come back here and get some sometime. And the next time I went back, they'd sold all of the unique colors out, and it was back down to the basics. I'm like, oh, come on. Now, Bo, you are a true, good mini painter. So I want you to ignore what I'm doing and just chat with people. Because I'm not a good mini painter. And I'm comfortable with that. I'm fine with that. Hey, Sierra. I don't know how late I'll be because I do have to take the animal for his nocturnal perambulation. We generally do that at about 11:30, 12 o'clock. We see fewer people that way. He gets quite anxious about people. I'm not bothering under the chin. If they pick up the mini and look under the chin, what they see is their own fault. Well, yeah, it sold really well. I think, to be honest, I think the independent one here in town, I think it's sort of, what fell off the back of the truck this week. I'm no Vince Venturella or even a Jay from Eons. I'll say I'm no one who even knows who they are. That's how far away I am. Footprints in the cheesecake. Ha 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 ha. Hardy har har har. I'll try to get a little paint off here. Try to get over what I just painted so I don't have to do it again to fix the interior there. Black could be fine. It just looks like a void. Just looks like a void. That'll do, that'll do, that'll do. So, yeah. Well, actually, Grumpy, I think maybe you're ahead of us because you've realized unnecessary, just don't do it. And I had minis as a kid and didn't paint them. I liked them as statues. I put them on my dresser. They didn't even get involved in the game. I didn't play with them. I just liked having them. But I was an only child, and if I set up a whole bunch of minis in a display on my dresser, they would be there the next day. Nobody will have played with them. Nobody will have thrown a football that went crashing through them. Hello, Petey Pete. The 3-foot rule works for me. There you go. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, he's got 4 feet, so this is going to be a problem. Hey, I'm here all night. Probably not all night, but I'll do it and I'll be like, hey, great, I'm all done with the straps, but there's still the harnessing, the buckles, and then there's the dude. I'm not done with the dude. So, oh well. The dude. Hey, man, that's just like your opinion. Okay. Yes, that'll be fine. Stop it. Bad dungeon minister. Stop fussing. Okay. Cloak color on this one. Really? Well, I'm glad to have been your first. Let me see. El Ministerio, if you're not into the brevity thing. They keep you sane because they drive me insane. Oh, silver. Ow. I hurt my arm, my right arm rather. I wish it was my left. My right arm early October. And ever since, when I stretch out, twist a little bit, my elbow goes crazy. And when in the morning, when I stretch my bicep, just a nerve shoots. And oh, that hurts. It has been so long and so much pain. And it's just getting worse. Just getting worse. It's probably a mouse and computer, and it's probably because my computer here at home isn't at the right height or something. I don't know. My table. Likely. I'd look it up, but then I'd have to spend more time on the computer. Hey. Yeah, see, the last one I did, I'd have fussed over that for 6 years. I'm not doing it. Then don't do that. Yeah. Well, I don't know. This is the thing. I don't know what I did. Even back in October, I remember going to the doctor and saying, I have no idea what I did, but it hurts like the devil. And at the time, it had been a couple weeks. And the doc said, okay, well, just, keep an eye on it. And then I went back the next time. I said, still hurts. The doc said, keep an eye on it. Canadian healthcare at its finest. So I don't know what it is. So yeah, so what is it? It's May now. Exercise. There we go. I was swinging the thurible. So it was pretty much all of October, November, December. And then, so it's been like 7 months. It's been 7 months like this. And it just, every morning I get up and I stretch like I'm a cartoon character, right? I do the, and as I do it, it's as soon as I wake up. So I'm not thinking, right? You just do it reflexively and it hurts. What is going on? Why you want to kill me? Why does my body wish to kill me? Okay, I should probably do the harnesses on the head before I do the buckles, guys. Why didn't someone tell me? Probably because the camera's so lousy you can't tell what I'm doing. Hanging a sling and keeping your arm in it and keeping the weight off your joint may help. That's like, my wife suggested that when it first happened, when I first started complaining, she said, "What do you want me to sling it for you?" Because she's a PSW and she's pretty handy with that kind of stuff. And I said, the problem with that is, it's my right arm. So driving, celebrating the Eucharist, doing anything, right? It would be impossible. I wouldn't be able to do anything. So I don't know. It's probably a repetitive stress, strain injury or something, probably about a computer desk or whatever. And I just haven't ever given it a chance to heal. But I really don't know how I would. And I understand when people get these injuries, but it's like, I still got to do stuff. I can't stop doing stuff. Like when the snow fell, the boys shovel. They make their money shoveling, but we had, hey, Classy Wolf, we had so much snow that there was no way. I mean, the biggest, strongest person in the house, not that I'm that big or strong, but I mean, compared to a 15-year-old, he better be out there helping. He better be out there shoveling. And when it comes to the approaches, it wasn't even a matter of I should help. It was that nobody else is going to be able to. Hey, Jay, do not be sorry for watching The Delver. He's good people and always a good watch. I was watching him too. Temple of Elemental Evil. Delver's good folks. I sent him a link to the he'd mentioned I had done art for Guac for merchandise, and I had done a concept thing and sent it to him. I didn't know that he was anticipating me doing the actual munch, so I whipped it. It doesn't take long with Teespring. I just uploaded it, so he got that. I don't know if he saw it during stream or not, but hopefully he can share the link to that. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Rest ice until the swelling is done. See, there's no swelling. There's no swelling. There's no difference between the two. I feel around like it feels exactly the same. I can torn meniscus or something. I don't know what a meniscus is, but I've watched football and I've heard it there. I really don't know what it is. It also goes up and down. Like sometimes it's in the shoulder, sometimes it's in the elbow, sometimes it's in the arm. The elbow is pretty constant. That's pretty much always there. Although it started in the arm, it was not in the elbow at first. I remember quite distinctly it was just in the arm. And I thought I'd pulled the muscle doing something, right? So when I first brought it up, it was like, well, yeah, this is kind of annoying. It was no big deal. It was like it's starting to define life. And even like if that snow was so much. We had so much snow on the roof. I had to get a roof rake to pull snow down because I was really afraid that, frankly, it was going to collapse the roof. One part of our roof is at a gentle slope. Most of our roof is a pretty steep, but part of it's very much flatter. It's not flat, but it's flatter. And I was like, that's gonna go. That's gonna break on through because this is an old house, right? This is a very old house, and that is not gonna last. So I had to get a roof rake and pull snow off, and that couldn't have helped. But what was the option? Nobody, my wife isn't anywhere near as tall, and she's not going to have the upper body strength to be pulling that much. There's a lot of snow up there. She's not going to have the upper body strength to pull that much snow off the roof. It's just stuff you had to do. So, but yeah, it's just become a nerve thing. Yeah, true, Grumpy. That would. And then I'd also have the dog to protect me. If anyone said, oh, he's got his arm in a sling, I'll rob him. Oh, wait, he's got a dog. I won't. Although the reality is they would be in more danger of being licked than bitten with Magoo. He's a friendly dog, but he does look dangerous. Which is really what you want. You want a nice dog that looks mean. Right? Ooh, that's not a very good horse eye. Hopefully I can do better over here. He's got a lot of stuff around his eye on that side, though, so I'm not going to blame that on myself. That's much better. That's actually quite good. That was an accident, but it was a good accident. I couldn't do it again to save my life. I do all my own editing and graphics. Yes. Thank you. I had watched a video about someone, saying that if you're doing this stuff, by all means, outsource the editing. Have someone else do the editing, and that's going to work for some people who basically the content of what they're saying, etc., is the point of their informational videos, educational, etc. But for me, that's where the humor is, right? That's the punch. The gags that come up. I mean, interestingly, when I first did it, you can go back and watch if you want to punish yourself. My early stuff, there were far fewer gags. I wasn't being funny. I guess I was being a little funny. I started off the video saying that Dungeons and Dragons was a dangerous, spiritually dangerous game that you shouldn't play, and I laughed it off. But I didn't do nearly as many gags, and the statues didn't talk for a couple episodes at least. But that's where so much of the fun is. I couldn't outsource that. We did have too much snow last winter. Oh, good heavens. In the blizzard of 78, people started having electric roof heating elements put up. Yeah. Oh, gosh, yes. Well, I gave it a serious look. Let me tell you that right now, Robert. I gave it a serious look. Obviously, by the time it was up there, it was. And you know what did work for us in getting rid of the ice damming? Because that's a big problem. You get an ice dam, and then the water backs up under the shingles, right? Because it's meant to go down. But if it can't go down, it starts to refreeze and back up. Pantyhose, not to wear. Pantyhose filled with one of those environmentally friendly ice melts, so it's not salt, so it's not going to be really hard on the shingles. Although I have to say, even salt would be less hard on the shingles than an ice dam. So kind of pick your poison. If you cut the legs off pantyhose, fill them with that ice melt, and you throw it up onto the roof so that it extends. It's going up the roof, and it's almost like a sausage full of ice melt. And if you can land the end of it above the ice dam and then down to the gutter, that will melt through the ice dam, and it'll give all that backed up water, instead of backing up, refreezing, and going up the shingles, it'll find that channel and go down. You got to do it every few feet. You can't just do one per gutter. You've got to do it a few on the roof. And that saved our roof right there. And I credit YouTube with the video that told me that. And I only felt a little strange going to the store to buy the pantyhose. Kidding. My wife had some. And so, yeah, that saved our roof. I credit that with saving the roof, because boy, oh boy, we had bad icing. Yeah, near the gutter, precisely. Channeling Bob Ross. Yes, happy accidents. That's me. I like to think I was a happy accident. What did I say that out loud? No. Yeah, the horse has got a buckle right by its eye, or a ring or something right by its eye. Whoever put this horse in his kit really gave him a bit of a problem. Oh well. Not my horse, it's this guy. He's responsible, Your Honor. He's the culprit, the silent partner. Anyone name that movie? The Silent Partner? He's to blame. River of dirty money. Blinders. Salt block on the. Wow, that's a bad. No, Grumpy, the hard part was filling them with salt while she was still wearing them. That was tricky. That was tricky. No. Well, what are we playing? When I DM, it's all back me, because I only know one trick. I'm a one-trick horse. And by the way, never trick a horse. It's not nice. But Fleetwood, my eldest, he's 15. He's been DMing us in a game of Call of Cthulhu. And that's been fun. He's got it set in northern Ontario, so it's a little sort of backwoods gothic. And I will say Touchberry got a little goofy with it. You know what I realized? There's no way. Oh, Gamma World. Awesome. Awesome. Can I firmly announce that? I need to hunt down DMs and get them to tell me what they're running. If you're going to commit to that, I would love it if I could put it in the books and announce it. And you were pretty open about when you ran a game. Am I right about that, Grumpy? Not the first night or early the first day because you wanted to be doing intake on the table, but later on Saturday, perhaps? I just realized there's no way Lawrence is coming on tonight because he's a building inspector. He has to get up early. So I'm not going to wait to break out the Pop-Tarts. These are from Dirty Basement Terrain, Lawrence. I was complaining that there's no Saturday afternoon, evening. Excellent. I was complaining that in Canada, I cannot find the brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tarts. Now, someone else in Canada will say, oh, well, we have them all the time, but I can't find them. And he taunted me with pictures of them from the States, and then he sent me some. What I always do is I pull off the bit on the edge that doesn't have any frosting. I eat that first. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's not the best part. We do have Nanaimo bars. In the U.S., they have Nanaimo taverns. Well, here, Bo, take a bite. Go ahead. Take a bite. Now. I shouldn't eat them. Always eat the edges first. Always. And I would play a game. This one broke in the... This package broke in the... I always play a game to see if I can get the entire unfrosted bit off first. Well, Bo, I have to tell you, I'm not pre-diabetic. I'm all the way diabetic, and I eat them anyway because I'd rather die of this than anything else. This is the Pop-Tarts that... Yes, Shawshank, you're right, Road March. One of the Pop-Tarts that Dirty Basement Terrain sent me. You've never eaten a Pop-Tart, Grumpy? That's why you're so healthy. The man's an Adonis if you haven't seen him. Okay. Leave the other two halves for later. Yum. I'm sorry to hear that, Bo. I'm sorry to hear that. Need more silver. I had the autocorrect comes for Grumpy. We know what you meant, I think. I knew a fellow, I'd say he was in his 70s, diabetic, and his family, they worked mightily to keep him away from the sugar and stuff, and he would sneak and make himself maple syrup sandwiches. It's like, wow. When you go for it, right? And I mean, the family was always, scolding him. Come on, Dad, you gotta, it's not good for you. Quit doing that. And on the one hand, I I totally agree. On the other hand, I mean, the guy, his health was very bad, and I wonder, like, maybe just let him have it, and because he's loving it, right? He's loving that, and at that age, I don't think I'm going to have much other than Pop-Tarts that is going to be, Just let me eat my way to an early grave. No, I'm not here for your therapy, but I'll tell you something. I also am. Priests are always. There's no like hours, right? And if I'm going to be completely honest, which a priest really ought to be, a good portion of why I do this channel as the dungeon minister, not just as plain old Aaron, was to take church to a place where it wasn't. Okay, cloak, color of the cloak. This guy got maroon and with a fur collar. This guy's got fur as well. These are actually the Stark. You do have to die of something. And you have to admire diabetes because it tells you in the first syllable what it wants you to do. Yeah. I mean, I'm of two schools on that, Bo. On the one hand, to not see it coming, you're not living in dread, you're not worried, etc. On the other hand, I would like enough time to say goodbye to my boys, to call them in once at a time, to have them come into the room one at a time, and tell them the things that I've been telling them all along, but they probably don't hear until, oh, wow, this is it, I wanted to let, so and Painty-Pete also gets hit by the autocorrect or the oversized fingers syndrome that's kicking everyone's butt tonight. But I think KOL, the kick out loud, kiss out loud. I'm curious. I like it. I know. LOL. So I'm divided on the not wanting to see it coming, because then part of me is like, yeah, then you're not dreading anything, any of that kind of stuff. But on the other hand, have just enough time to have a priest, a colleague come in to hear confessions and to speak to my boys. Yeah, I think so. Single biggest fear: dying alone in a hospital room surrounded by beeps and monitors. Yeah. It's, what, I've been at present at a number of deaths now. It goes with the territory. And the best ones have been at homes when the person dies at home. There's also a very, very good palliative care place in our area. And they do a good job. I mean, you know what? Everyone is going to die. And, if you got to do it, and you do, eventually, that would be the place to go. If you can't be at home. Hypocrisy, and then let your confession would take an hour. Oh, well, that is, that's the human condition. Anglicans don't do a lot of confessions. Like, I don't hear a lot of them. And I really, it's interesting. I really appreciate the parishioners who do come for it. I've got a couple who regularly, semi-regularly. And I really do appreciate that, because ultimately, if you look at what did Jesus go around doing and what did he tell his disciples to do? That was a big one. Forgiveness of sin. Pronounce forgiveness. So, given how often his disciples are told to do it, and how often he did it, and how often it became, really a part of sorry, I can't talk and paint at the same time. When it was, really a part of a larger and more significant, a very large and significant moment in his ministry. The church, at least in Anglican circles, gets called on to do it very rarely. Very rarely. Not screaming in panic like the passengers in his car. Love one another. Alone in a car crash. Yeah. Do you know, Robert, the rates on this is very dark, but men die in solo car crashes more than anyone, and it's because they don't want their families to have to face the fact of their suicide. Isn't that dark? Is that dark enough for you? Painting a mini, it's all happy, just painting toys, but it's a yeah. I mean, what's the line? The massive men lead lives of quiet desperation. Was that Thoreau? Love one another as I have loved you. The Maundy Gospel, a new commandment, mandatum in Latin, Maundy, because the British got a hold of it and they can't just leave a word alone. A new commandment I give you, love one another as I have loved you. That's the Maundy Gospel. On Maundy Thursday, it is read, but after the washing of feet, which is, of course, the living out of that love, right? Washing the feet of the disciples to show humility and love for them. And interestingly, if John's Gospel was the only one we had, every Sunday when we met, we wouldn't have the Eucharist. We'd wash each other's feet. Imagine that. Probably Christianity wouldn't have spread quite as well. You want me to what? I know when we do the Maundy Thursday foot washing in the parish, it's always like, I get people coming up, but not all. I'll say that. Oh, dang it, I hit the mane. And then I saw a big spot of gray where I hadn't painted the mane to begin with, so I'm going to have to go back anyhow. Okay. I'll just remember that. Did I get a color on the cloak? By this shall men know that you are my disciples, for the love you have for one another. Did anyone give me because I've got red already. I don't want them to be samey. I'm thinking green, blue, gray. Done. No. Green, maybe? Emo Phillips. I mean, that just taking that gimmick comedy all the way to the wall, hey? Well, I'm trying, Bo. I am trying. Although I say there's some boys at my son's school that are giving him trouble, and I am a very bad Christian when I hear the stories of how the day went. I'm like, oh, child murder, and that's not going to be that bad, is it? No, I get just off of them. It was a joke, and it's a terrible joke, but here it is. I said, I'm a Christian, I'm a priest, I believe in forgiveness, so I'm sure God will forgive me for killing those children, because there are some real turds. I wouldn't, don't worry, don't call anyone, I'm not going to do anything. Green with yellow trim. A wash can hide a multitude of sin. Oh, Bo, I know I haven't showered in a while, but you don't have to comment on it, online like that. Jeez. Yeah, I don't do washes on my minis, and you know why? Because when I get them to the point where I stop wanting to fuss, I'm afraid that if I throw a wash over it, I'm just going to ruin it. Green with yellow trim, blue, brown, yellow. It sounds like that song that was so popular in YouTube shorts a few years ago. It could be blue, it could be brown, it could be yellow trim. Yeah, I don't have any oil paints at all. Okay, I saw Grumpy first, so green with yellow. I'm not going to go yellow trim because it's difficult to see in the gray. It has a fur collar, so I don't think it's really a trimmed piece. I think it's kind of more rough. It's more ready. These are the Stark Bannermen from the Song of Ice and Fire game. They're slightly oversized, but I'm just going to say that these guys are, like Vikings are big. Okay. I talked about death. I need to soothe myself with sugar. I have to ask Grumpy, Slan, my man, where do you find all of these old books? And do you have them physically or digitally? If you don't know Grumpy's channel, he reads like old weird tales books, old books of fantasy, and all these really cool things. But I like to think, because we did do a video chat once, I like to imagine you in a room just stacked with books everywhere. And when you go to do one of these, you sort of reach out and pull something off the shelf and, oh, how about this? Flesh tone washes. See, this is what I meant earlier. You are a much better painter than I. Green. Red, 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 orange, red, red, orange, red, red, orange, orange, pick a blue, pick a red, orange, blue, green, blue, green, blue, green. All right. Not holiday green. I've got leaf green for Leif Erikson. Got hunter green. Yeah, Christmas green. That's a very. Well, actually, that's not bad. That's not bad. On video, it's going to be bad. In person, it's not. Let's see. Can I get this to a normal, natural color on the video? No, I don't think I can. No, it's not going to show up. It's not going to show up. The hunter green it's not as drastic as it looks on screen, but it is a little bluish. I'm going to go leaf in honor of Leif Erikson. Oh, that's probably not true either, Bo, but God bless you. I have the advantage of being the only really experienced DM that my children regularly play with. So they certainly think so. You never get such a strong case of imposter syndrome as you do when you start a YouTube channel talking about what you do. Those of you with YouTube channels can probably identify. I do adventures for my kids. Oh, heck yeah, it's great. Papa's doing an adventure for us. That's awesome. But an adventure online, well, actually... Present company excluded. I don't think I've ever got an actually for anyone here. And bless them, they're probably right. Oh, I went over the. Oh no, that's not armor. That is the. the cloak up here. Man. Guys, come on. I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about the guys who modeled this thing. What are you thinking? Well, and of course, they will have a one horsehair brush to paint these details. How's the pigment on these paints? Oh dear, I missed a whole bunch of chat. Someone left and I didn't even get to say goodbye. Oh, Classy Wolf. Let's see. Santa, you tried Tales from the Magician's Skull. Ooh. So a good night to Classy Wolf. Too late, but there it is. How's the pigment on those paints? Do they thin well without breaking down? I'm not thinning them with anything. I don't know. I've never even tried. I find that the thin them, quote unquote, all I do is just brush and then brush a little bit more, and I take away some of the bulk. It also on fabrics gives a bit of texture because you get the brush strokes, and if you don't overdo it, they can look like the grain of the grain, but the what's it called? I used to know in sewing. Oh, I might be able to, Grumpy, I might be able to get your yellow in here anyway, because I'll just do the inside of the cloak yellow. It's got to be a pretty mustardy yellow, though, because this guy is not like, hello, I've got a fabulous cloak on. No, he's more of a, hi, I'm going to split your head open now kind of guy. Serious is what I'm saying. The dog star. Things that people don't know about me. I tutored astronomy in university. And a professor, Professor Stone, he was a lot of fun. I liked him. And so I did well in his class because I enjoyed it and I paid attention. And he actually hired me as a tutor. Bo, in the winter, yes, but it is just too warm in here now, so I'm just in my shirt sleeves. Actually, the roller. Waistcoat and an overcoat. I am really, Bo, literally a child in this. I have no idea. There's a meme that says it's a one character looking at the other. Oh, I'm thinking of starting to paint minis, and the other one says, "Oh, go for it. It's really easy. All you need is some paint and some brushes, and off you go." And the one saying they're going is jumping in the water, and the one who's answering is in the water. Of course, once the one jumps into the water, they start to sink, and the other one follows them down. And then you're going to need a thinner and a wash coat, and you're going to need to think about zenithal highlights, just going down and down and down, getting more and more difficult as it goes. It's just this insane complexity of this hobby where it's like, yeah, paintbrush, minis, I'm all set. And then you watch YouTube videos, and these people are doing all this insane stuff. And I watched a guy paint a mini. He went over the same mini like 85 times, and nothing seemed to change between steps. By the end, it was brilliant. The weft and the weave, the weave and the weft. I've never tried to drink the paint water, but I have tried to dip my brush in my coffee once. In this case, I have milk because I want to sleep. And I have milk. It's actually getting to be room temperature milk, which is not great. So I'm going to finish this off. Because it's delicious. Is it delicious? Mm-hmm. Oh, it smells good. Well, you could see it. Well, that would be the time to do it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I've never drank the paint water, but I have almost. I stopped myself, but I almost dipped the paintbrush in the coffee once. Hmm. Yeah. So that's why I got a jar. You never want to use a mug. Too much potential for problems. It's a report of the week mug. Though it's really gone quite faint. Oh well. Well, that was delicious. I was getting some yellow, wasn't I? Bright yellow is probably not mustardy enough. It's, as the name indicates, bright. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take that same golden brown that I used for the rains, and I'm going to just yellow it a little bit with the bright yellow. Yep, COVID got you back into gaming, and they're into doing YouTube. Yeah. Hello, Jeff, the greatest dungeon master alive. How are you doing? Other than great, obviously. The patron saint of mini painting. I don't know who's the patron saint of obsession and overthinking. That would be my mini painting. Mix that yellow in, try to lighten that a little bit. I'm going to have to do more yellow than that. And now I will do too much yellow and have to put in more golden brown. Looking for 2 more players. In what game? The game of life. It's hard to play. I'm going to lose it anyway. The losing hand I'll someday lay, so this is all I have to say. Do you know that song, the theme song from MASH, in case you didn't pick that up, was written to be the stupidest song ever? They needed a song for the dentist to sing, and the director asked his son to write a song, figuring that a teenage kid is going to write a dumb, over the top, like, I'm poor me and so awful, very emo kind of thing. And he ended up writing Suicide is Painless. And it's such a haunting song. It's such a haunting song. Partly is the performance of the fellow who sings it, but and it became arguably one of the more famous TV theme songs ever. And you just knew when that poor sound quality, muted sound came on. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. And you go, wow. That's you knew it was good TV happening. Until later seasons when they let Alan Alda direct. Big mistake. God bless him. But we get it. We get it, Alan. War is bad. We know. Pull it back a little bit. pull that back a little bit. God bless him. I mean, I get wanting to say war is bad. Like, who doesn't want to say that? But I kind of knew they were very, very, very moody. Yes, it did, Grumpy. Yes, Road March, it was what the dentist sang. Hello, Elder Paint Games. Peter Gunn. Magnum P.I., speaking of which, he was actually considered to play Indiana Jones. Was good old, what's his name? Riptide. Dirty Basement! You did show up. I didn't think you'd be up this late. You missed the great eating of the Pop-Tarts. My man. I said it at the beginning. I said I'm going to wait until Dirty Basement Terrain is on. I'll eat the Pop-Tarts when he's on. And then I realized he has to get up so early. He's not going to be on. But here you are. Here you are if I'd known. Ah, well. Nanacar's, yeah. Well, the one with like the Houlihan ends up on a bloody bed in the middle of a field. It's like she's in a wedding dress, and then she's on a bloody bed in the middle of a field. I mean, it's just wow, there, Alan. You know, it's like it's like it was directed by a film school, art student. You're up super early, dude. 15th cup of coffee. Whoa. I did that one time as a teenager. We would go to Perkins. Is Perkins a chain down in the States? But there was a place called Perkins in Janesville. I think it's a chain. And we would go there as teenagers and order coffee and buy desserts and appetizers and sit there all night talking serious thoughts about death and life and art and things like that because we were pretentious. I mean, we were so pretentious. The Cullen brothers, Brent and Jason Cullen. I mean, God bless them, very intelligent, but oh so pretentious. I say that having been just as pretentious as they were. But we would go there, and one night it was, what was the dude's name? He played the lead in South Pacific when I played just one of the soldiers because I was an awful singer at the time. I've gotten better. Death Wish Espresso. Jeff, the most wired DM alive. The Death of Dr. Painless. Yeah. Yeah, I went there with that guy, and I want to say it was a Sean, but then everyone was a Sean back then. And we sat and talked, and we kept ordering. And they had a bottomless pot of coffee, and man, did we make them regret it that night. And I got home, and I could feel my brain hopping around inside my skull. It's like, that's a bad feeling. You're at the hospital overnight. At work or patient, I don't know what you do for a job. I hope it is work. Hey, Negative, you have a good one. Thanks a lot. Thanks for coming by. The Perkins near the campus. Yeah, there you go. Campus. Campus named Perkins Go Romani. What? All right, Grumpy, you have a good one too. Oh, it's almost midnight. I should be getting ready to go soon myself. Thank you for the people who are departing. First of all, thank you for having been here to begin with, and thank you also for announcing your departures so that I can say, oh, why? What time is it? And I look at the time and go, oh my gosh, Lawrence is up already, and I should be in bed. What do I have to do tomorrow? I have a nursing home liturgy. And I think that's about it. Oh, no. You know what, DBT? I like them raw. I'm gonna toast them at some point. I'll toast them. But I do them raw. I'm a rebel. Night Shift RN. That's right. I did know you. I said I didn't know, but I didn't remember is what it was, because I have heard you say that before. Yes. Like I said, I knew it, but didn't remember it. My brain, Bo, let me tell you right now, I once greeted the same woman, welcomed her to our church 3 times. Oh, bless you, Bo. I have a memory like a goldfish, although I gather they don't actually have bad memories. That's just a thing people say about goldfish. I, however, do have a bad memory. It drives my wife nuts. She'll say, "Are you going to get this done?" I'm like, yep, I'm going to do that done. And I really intend to. I'm not shirking work. It's just I completely forget the thing has to be done. And then and then it's like, 11 at night. And I didn't do the thing. I have to do the thing tomorrow. And the next morning I get up and I dope-de-do, forget to do the thing. Drives her up the pole, I tell you. Okay, to the model makers, I appreciate your level of detail. Also to the model makers, stop it. I used to try to excuse my poor memory by being like, yeah, I'm just living in the now, man. I don't hang on to the past. I don't, just living in the now. It's really just, I'm a forgetful old bugger. What is that? Is that more of this? Do I have to go back and get this color again for that? Or what is that? Is it a little pouch? Is it the folds of his diaper? What is that? I don't know what it is. Well, yes, but it does rather imply that I did forget her each time. That I forgot that I'd already welcomed her. And it make it worse. I had, at the previous church I was at, I had married them. I'd done the wedding. Now that could be excused. So I married them and I came in, like 5 years later, they show up. They also moved to the new town. They also moved north. And so 5 years later, they show up at my new parish. I'm like, I'm not going to remember that. I saw them for 3 pre-meetings and then the day. Right. So, when they came later and I again greeted them, and then a third time greeted her, he wasn't there that time. I'm like, well, that's it. Details, just to put in details. You know what? It may be down in the States, but I have looked at all of the thrift shops around here, and there is naught to do with D&D. Jeff, there is naught to do with D&D. I did give it a go. A solid college try. I see what it is. It's this thing over there. Okay. I'll decide what that color is going to be. I'm going to make that. I'm going to mix up a dark brown. Going to mix me up a dark brown because I want to. Oh, that's way more black than I needed. Oh, well, that's okay. Online. Oh, there you go. I know naught of it. I would say share the link, but I know you're not able to on other people's streams. So there it is. There are 11 people out there watching me faff around, ruining the paint job on this horse and rider. Hello, all 11 of you. Oh, man. Yeah, it's funny. You watch MASH, the movie, and you can see where the TV show came from, but you can also see where they said, hey now, ho now, this is TV. We can't be doing that. It's like, yay. That's some really, really, like, if it happened in really life, awful things. I mean, obviously the war did, and it was awful, but I mean, like, just the behavior of Hawkeye and company. I mean, they really... Really some very, very bad behavior. Am I going to get anything I can use here? Maybe I can use that. Oh, God bless you, DBT. You have a really, really good, you just have a really good day at work. And I hope the coffee shops are all open for you wherever you go. My wise words. Oh, Petey Pete. Bless you for a liar. Oh, well. Man, this is just, that was way too much black. That's getting closer. You know what? I'll use it. That's what I'm going to do. Forget you're already married. They were drunk all day long. I mean, it was really, that movie was like, wow. Was Elliot Gould? Am I right on that? Or am I dreaming? I saw the movie, but I saw it, first of all, I saw it way too young. Nobody should watch that movie at the age I saw it. Nobody. Was it Elliot Gould? Unfavorite that item. It was Elliot Gould? Is that must be one of the listings that you're posting there, Jeff? $400. I'll say that is a lot of money to be spending on a, even if it is an original book. Man, I'm gonna get these guys. I'm leaving that gray in there. There's this little thing that's like yet one more layer, and I don't know what it's supposed to be. And I'm gonna leave it. I'm just gonna leave it. I don't care. So there. Take that, horse. Take that. Hello, off-grid gamer. What's Elliot Gould? A lot of stuff. Oh, so that's not just one thing. Okay. Donald Sutherland. Yes, Donald Sutherland. Don't scare it. Gould and Sutherland, though. Man. I was watching clips from Lawrence of Arabia. I don't watch whole movies anymore. I just watch clips of them on YouTube. It's terrible. Silver. And Peter O'Toole, I mean, come on. The monster that man was. Just a beast on screen. And I mean, and drunk 90% of the time. Great film. There's one I want to do. I haven't seen it since I was a kid. Ben-Hur. Yeah. Movies are very long now. No, we never float now. Movies are long now. You got to have time for the 16 end credit scenes, of course. Oh well. I mean, it was clever when they started doing it, but now it's like, oh right, yes, we all know there's an end credit scene coming. He's out now, but Rabowski went to see Thunderbolts and had a good time. I heard less good things about it, but he said it was good. So to each their own. I guess opinions are not universal things. I was glad to hear that it was better than had been reported. I'm just making this the same color as the darn fleece that he's got underneath this, because can't be bothered. That's why can't be bothered. To be or not to be. Yes, Robert Duvall. I forgot about that. Well, the problem though is, uh, Petey Pete, the things still happen, but you can no longer depict them. so the things still happen. People aren't getting any better, but you're not allowed to depict the fact that these things still happen. Ben-Hur is great, yeah. Jason and the Argonauts. I'm not an actor, I'm a movie star. I know it was in the midst of the whole, protests against WotC, but I really did enjoy the new D&D movie. I did enjoy that. I thought it was quite funny, quite fun, and good for people both who did get D&D and people who didn't. I think people who didn't get D&D were still entertained by it. It still had enough in it that they could watch it and laugh and not need to know. They didn't need to know the stats of a gelatinous cube to know that jumping into that is a bad thing. You know what? No, because I don't think that people in history were horrible people. We hear about the horrible ones. Like you don't write history books about the people who just live their lives quietly and help their neighbors out. Those are not. You don't have history books about those people. You write about the. It's just like the newspaper, right? The newspaper contains all the horrible things that happen today because that's what people want to read about because they're worried about it and nervous about it. And then they become worried and nervous because they're reading it. And then they read more because they're worried and nervous. And that's how you sell newspapers. But no, I don't think people are getting better. I don't think they're getting worse either. I think they're just people are people. People are people, and why should it be you and I should get along so awfully? I said I was going to leave that gray. I said I was going to leave it gray, and here I am, not leaving it gray. Because that's just what a jerk I am. This one is too. I need the other one. One of them hasn't kind of spread out yet. One of them has not spread out. Oh. Ray Harryhausen was absolutely. We've got a picture of him. So I've got friends, and they are the model together. It's a couple, and as a couple, they are the model for Rupert. Mostly the husband, but some bits of the wife as well. If you'd have to watch my recaps to know who Rupert was, and actually have watched quite a few of them a while ago to understand who Rupert is. So I appreciate that this may be flying over some people's heads, but Rupert's based on these folks, and I mean they're just charming, wonderful people. But they're involved in animation. They actually worked on Ewoks, Inspector Gadget. What was the rock and roll one? Rock and Rule or something like that. They worked on that. They've done a whole bunch of stuff. They're in Canadian animation. They're giants, and they just live in this little village, very unassuming. This wonderfully cluttered house. When you go in, there's just art everywhere. Leaning up 3 or 4 paintings deep, leaning up against the wall on the ground. Right. They never had any kids. They just had art, and they would support any artist. They bought to the point that our parish had an art show just to give artists in the community a chance to show their stuff and sell their stuff. And my boys, when they were little, like 5 and 3, Bob Johnny it was just born, the 5 and 3-year-old painted things. And hey, have a good one, Elder Goblin. They bought those paintings, right? And I went over there, and they had them on the wall. Like they are awesome people. They're still alive. I shouldn't talk about them in the past tense. Anyway, he is attempting to clear out their house because it is quite full, and he gave me a bunch of stuff, including bunch of stuff from Clash of the Titans, promotional things that were mailed out ahead of time, and this wonderful picture of Harryhausen posing the Kraken, because I think that was his last film. That was his swan song, and quite a swan song it made. For someone who's not terribly musical, I do really enjoy listening to it. And that music was fun. That was my childhood right there. That movie was big in my childhood. And they had figures for it. I had them. Depeche Mode. Depeche Mode. What mode are you on? Oh, I'm in Depeche Mode. Oh, so you're moody and deep. Yes. So our car, like most cars today, doesn't have a CD player or a tape deck or anything like that, but you can load songs into the computer, which just really still freaks me out. But anyway, we filled that up already, largely with these wonderful recordings. A guy named Jim Weiss does. He'll retell classic stories in a very kid-friendly way. So we have those for car trips. When we're going camping, it's like a 2-hour drive to get there. So we, put those on, and the kids are less needed now. So we probably could take them out of but some part of me doesn't want to take them out of the car computer, because I would feel like it would be that's admitting that they've grown up, and I don't want to do that. But anyway, the point is, because the car computer was full of the radio was full of radio's the wrong word for it, but anyway, was full of songs. I put a USB stick, and you can just plug it in and leave it plugged in, and it'll hold a whole bunch of songs as well. And I had recorded a whole bunch of music over to it, and I forgot what I'd put on it. I got in the car recently, and I'm like, oh yeah, I have got that thing. What's on there? And I put on the soundtrack to Grosse Pointe Blank. It's got some great music. The English Beat, Clash. It's got that wonderful David Bowie, Freddie Mercury, Under Pressure duet. It's such a brilliant piece of music. Yeah, that I think. Yes, Triplets of Belleville, brilliant movie. That's the Canadian. I'm pretty sure that Grosse Pointe Blank is the Gen X movie, closely followed by what's the one where same actor, DJ. Anyway, Ralph Bakshi did do a lot of great movies. Burgess Meredith. All the best. Yeah, it's cold up here. You're huddled inside. You got nothing to do. Crank out some animation. Sure. And Canadians do have a good sense of humor. Okay. Usually. High Fidelity. Yes, thank you. High Fidelity. I think those are the Gen X movies. Grosse Pointe Blank, especially because it's just the music, for one thing. That sort of detached approach to life. That's so boomer, or not so boomer, so Gen X. Okay. People are people, so why should it be? Yeah, it is an awesome soundtrack. Yes, yes, yes. Hercules. Beginning the movie with I can see clearly now the rain is gone, as he assassinates somebody, is chef's kiss. This is like the second time I've talked about assassination on this stream. What in the world is wrong with me? I'm going to get flagged for content. Pick him up by the ears, it doesn't hurt him as much. Pick him up by... Oh, you're going to get in trouble for that one. Surprise, surprise. You're here too, Gomer. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Another great film. A sad loss there. You know, like, dude, say anything. Also, good heavens, yes. That's, man. So are we in agreement that the Gen X movie is going to have John Cusack in it? Because I feel like he embodies Gen X-dom to a certain extent. Remember kickboxing? Kickboxing, sport of the future. Anyway, the point is your daughter will be safe with me for the next 7 to 8 hours, sir. I mean, there's a lot of John Hughes stuff going on there, too. And you could go, you know... You can go Pretty in Pink. You can go Ferris Bueller's Day Off. That's also up there. Oh, man, I looked at a... somewhere I was online, someone posted this page of advertisements from the movies from like 1983 or 84 or something. And you can't believe how many amazing movies were in the theater at the same time. At the same time. Canadian Padres talking murder. He's gone rogue when pastors go bad. Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. You know what a content strike is? You're going to get yourself a copyright strike. Good night, Off-Grid. Off-Grid. I don't know that I know Repo Man's soundtrack. I don't think I've seen Repo Man. I've seen scenes from Repo Man. Bobby. I love the bit in Grosse Point Blank when he sees his friend and she's got her baby with her at the reunion, and the world crashes in on him. And I mean, like, if you've had kids, you know that's precisely what happens. Everything changes in an instant. The minute you hold that child. I mean, when your wife is pregnant, I mentioned for mothers, it changes earlier because it's all happening in them, right? And you obviously you're part of it during the pregnancy, and you're excited and everything and doing everything you can, but man, it's yeah. Then they grow up. You say, stop it. Stop it. But you want them to, man, right? You know, it's like, because you see how many amazing things they can do. You see how clever they are, how creative, how much energy and strength they've got. And you think, wow, you're going to be a world beater, kid. But I'm just not ready for you to go yet. you know? Could just stay a little longer, but they can't. It's wrong to try to make them, but boy, that's hard. Anything with Andrew McCarthy, yeah. You know who I didn't realize how much he was in and how sort of universal he was oh, now I can't even remember his name. He voiced Ultron. He's Reddington in the Blacklist. I can't remember the actor's name now. I knew it. I did know it. He was on, what was it, Boston Legal or something like that? I don't watch TV, so I don't know what his TV work, but he was all over the place as an awful wealthy, jerk. But he's obviously not a jerk. Well, maybe he is. Maybe he's a total jerk. I don't know. I say confidently he's not a jerk. Maybe he's a wretched human being. I don't know. Okay, I don't need much of not much of his face is showing because he's got a big old beard. So I'm just going to get in on the very few places where there's face showing. This is just a cashmere. The fine cashmere face. Face of the finest cashmere. Yeah, I got the beard, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to be going over it. I'll be going over it. James Spader, thank you. Sorry there, Bo. But there it is. Me at night. I get my congregation, I tell you. In a sermon, if I ever bring up kids, I'm a mess. I have to like avoid talking about children in my sermons too much, or I melt down. It's not good. It's not good. But ever since having kids, what am I doing? What are you doing, Father Aaron? Oh, I'll tell you, chat. I'm pushing some black paint into the deep recesses on this very overly detailed breastplate so that I can come back later and dry brush over a metallic, and there will be depth. There will be depth. There will be blood. There will be bloody depth. There will be depths of blood. He was wonderful as Ultron. He's wonderful on the Blacklist too. Although I think they probably ran the series too long, because as Reddington, he kind of has a note that he plays, and it should get light play. It should get light play, and it would be very good. Oh, honk to you too, train. I think they kind of just they let it linger too long. Did you have to let it linger? The fart song. Did you have to let it linger? You farted at my party. Did you have to let it linger? I'm so getting a copyright strike. I wonder if this will be one of the ones that the computer goes over. Pushing contrast. This is one of the ones that the computer goes over and it pulls out topics discussed. Have you ever seen that? Like, or people that were mentioned in the stream, and you'll like suddenly find that your video description includes the names of everyone you talked about, and then you wonder, will they then like get a notification? Not that I think James Spader is sitting there obsessively combing through YouTube to find out every time he's been mentioned. But I was going to say his name a few more times. Drop the brush. James Spader, James Spader, James Spader, James Spader, James Spader. And that way, if he does comb through YouTube looking for who mentioned him, he'll find this. And then James Spader will be like, I want to paint minis. That didn't sound like James Spader. I can't do James Spader. Can anyone really do James Spader? Mrs. Spader, you shut up. I'll be naughty tonight. Yes, you are. Go back to bed. I'm in bed. You should be too. You're clearly overtired. Yes, I clearly am. I do this, and then like I stay up too late, and then the next morning I wake up, I feel awful. I'm like, okay, tonight I'm gonna go to bed early. I'm not gonna stay up late doing crap. I'm gonna go to bed. And then that night, I'm like, yep, that's it. I'm gonna get the boys in bed. Well, this is too early. I'll go down for a little bit. 4 hours later. I don't know what articles of clothing I'm painting here, but I'm shoving paint into the crevice just so the darn gray goes away. I don't care what he's wearing. I just don't. I can't be bothered, people. It's too much for me to think about this late at night. Okay, now I slopped some on that yeller. What I'm going to have to do is wait for this to dry and fix it tonight. Hello, Lightmane. Yeah, and then I just realized that I am up and I'm up late, and I really ought not be because I'm dumb. But I'm going to have to wait till that dries and fix that tonight, because that paint that is a special mix, and I didn't do it in any proportions. I just added a little of this and a little of that, and it's going to dry, and then I won't be able to fix it. I made you doubt your life choices. Oh dear, Bo, don't do that. Don't do that. You're an RN. You help people in need and in pain and in times of crisis. That's some of the best work there is. Not easy work, I can imagine. Not easy. But very good work. My wife is a PSW, and no, that's not what it's called down in the States. But she's a PSW at a retirement home, and without telling tales out of school, I can say the caring profession needs more people who care, because caring professions need people who care. I'll just leave it at that. Working nights for the last decade? Well, that is that's a tough road to hoe. It's interesting. Times when I've done night shifts, I've done, not like a career like you've got, but like a Joe job that, at a factory or something that needs a night shift, and I'll do it for a summer or something, and it takes like a month to get used to it. And then once you go to the day schedule, boom, good night, PDP. You don't think James Spader is obsessing over why I'm talking about him? I think right now he's really like, what is this? I don't know. Glaze over the paint? Yeah, this is glazing over the paint is when my eyes begin to glaze over, and I'm like, that's way more than I can do. I'm not, it ain't me. I don't know who's glazing over their paint, but it ain't me. God bless the people that are. I'm glad such skill exists in the world. But there was a reason I didn't do this when I was a kid, and it's because I knew I would screw it up. And now it's just, I'm just old enough to not entirely screw it up. And you know what is really gratifying? The boys, when they see the stuff I've done, they're like, "You're the best mini painter ever." Like, yeah, dude, I am. And I tell them I'm so not, but they still think I am. And I'm, you know what? That's okay by me. They're wrong, but I'll let them be wrong because it's a nice wrong. I keep fussing. Meet Father Aaron. Horse is Minnie. Da-da. His boy Elroy. The DOG still needs to have his evening perambulation too. Ugh. I should get off of the stream soon. I'd be really paying for it. The liturgy at the nursing home tomorrow is going to be, Jesus is a nice guy. Just go away, all of you. That's going to be all I'm capable of tomorrow morning. The frightening part is I do this on the regular, and so almost everything I do is done like this. Is done in that sort of days of not enough sleep. It's not good. It's not good. It's tough to hang on to that boat. It really is. They don't... Teenagers need to rebel. I got one teen. Touchberry's turning 13 this summer. Fleetwood's 15, going on 22. He's a serious kid. Wants to get a job. Man, when I was his age, I didn't want a job. I wanted the money that comes from a job, but I didn't want the job. Well, maybe that's what he wants to. I did paper routes, but there's no paper in our area, and it's all done by adults. But so are all the jobs now. I mean, I don't know how the American economy is doing, but around Southern Ontario, shoot. Jobs that used to be kids, you go to the McDonald's and, there's a 42-year-old like, you want fries with it? I was making the joke of the kid, the voice cracking. I had to talk to my manager, and the boys didn't really get the joke because in their experience, everybody's, in fast food, they're all in their 20s. And about 9 times out of 10, they speak with a heavy accent from parts unknown. So the old kid working the fast food shop is just not the thing around these parts. It actually was when we moved in, before the boys were born. I remember there's a crew at the McDonald's. They would always have a teenage boy at the cash window, and they were fast. Boom, 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 boom. Let's go. All this energy channeled into burgers. Mandatory training at 11 a.m. Road. You know what? When they have a mini to paint, they'll often ask for help with this thing or that thing, and then we'll do that. We don't like paint minis in proximity to one another. And the reason I don't tend to paint a lot of minis is that I want them to show up on the table as a surprise. Yeah, the differential pay. Oh gosh, yes. If you're able to slug it out, and it is a slug. I know from even the short amount of time I did night shift work, it's a slug. If you're able to, the pay is better. It's always better. Okay, I'm gonna pack it in, folks. I'm gonna start putting away paints. I'll stay on till I get it all put away, though, because I have to sit here putting them away anyway. I I do hope everyone is has a peaceful night. If you are like Bo and at work, I hope it is a good night. That whatever your shift is quiet and safe. If you are like me, insomniac and just awake, I hope you find rest tonight for your weary elbows. Rest your weary elbows. Fry and Lori. A bit of Fry and Lori. Yeah. And I hope if you have mini painting of your own that you have to do or have been doing while we were chatting, I hope it turns out beautifully. I can show you, again, the camera's not good, so you're not going to pick up much, but kind of where I've gotten to on this fellow. I can take this out of the way. I love that. This is my paintbrush box. It's a long, thin paintbrush box. Does it show up any better down here if I put it down? Yeah, the figure, I got a couple of bits of his armor done. I've got the chainmail and the breastplate. I pushed the black in there for the contrast. Still have to do the fur around his neck, the helmet, the weapon, all that kind of stuff. There's probably only a couple more hours. Probably even less, probably about an hour left, but I just don't have it in me tonight. So riding off into the moonset. Have a good night, everyone. Take care of yourselves. Be good to each other.